You're feeling lucky, punk. How's everyone going? Welcome back to Luke's Homebrew. Today we are going over the integratable luck system that I just released on dmsguild.com. If you're interested, there will be a link in the description. All the art and design credits have been given to @I'mNehru on Instagram. She was in charge of making it look as beautiful as it is. I just designed the mechanics for y'all to use. So, keep this a short, brief video for y'all. I just want to give you a verbal description of how everything works and my explanations as to why I made certain things certain ways in relation to the luck mechanic. So, to start us off, I want you to imagine luck as your character's seventh statistic. Just like dexterity, strength, intelligence, it is something that your character innately has. And I think we can kind of apply that to the real world as well. Because you might be the strongest, smartest person you know in the world right now, but you might be the unluckiest person and you always get a flat tire, you always seem to get a crack in the windshield, you always seem to try and open the door and one of the locks is locked, or you might just be super lucky. So I think it was possibly a statistic that the original creators of D&D actually thought about, but then put to the side as it sometimes can get a little wacky with the fantasy world and trying to empower the players or the DM in the olden days. But this is my take on it. And before I continue, I'd like to give a little bit more credit to Call of Cthulhu, as I got a lot of inspiration for this mechanic from that game, so props to those creators and credit where credit's due. But this is my integration of a mechanic that is similar working into the D&D 5th edition system. So, just like dexterity or charisma, you can, if you're rolling for stats, what you got to do is roll an additional time to account for integrating this in. And if you are doing point buy instead, you're going to choose, you're going to have 32 points instead of 27 points to put into your various ability scores. And if you are doing standard array, you get an additional 10 base average stat as another choice in one of your statistic choices. So, how this mechanic works is it adds onto your character sheet, and I would like to eventually create a PDF where we actually have it integrated and add it to the luck system. But as of now, it is just the description, the rule set. But, continuing on, at any point, the DM, at whatever point they choose, can choose to have one of your players, or possibly even an NPC, choose to make a luck roll. Now, this is not a saving throw or a skill, attack roll, anything like that. It is its own roll. And situations like these might come to being jumping across a chasm. It could be, hell, even as simple as you're getting chased by a dragon, you see a horse, and you hop on it, and you might just be lucky or not lucky whether or not how fast it is, or if it's injured, or something like that. It's definitely up to the DM to either raise the stakes or possibly give the players a second chance in case they did fail a saving throw. So, when the player makes this roll, what they have to do is roll the d20 under the total of your luck ability score plus your luck ability modifier. Now, in Layton terms, if your luck ability score is a 10, well, a 10 ability score is plus 0. So you would have to roll your d20 under a 10, or equal to. And say your luck was a 14, then it would be 14 plus 2, because a 14 ability score has an ability modifier plus 2. So therefore, you'd have to roll under a 16. And lastly, just as a final description or example, if you had a 8 in your luck ability score, then an 8 is a -1 ability modifier. So instead of it being an 8 or a 9, it is in fact a 7 because 8 minus 1, as we all know, is 7. So you'd have to roll your d20 under 7. There's no modifier to this roll unless your DM chooses otherwise, but in the base mechanics, that is how the system works. It is very simple, and the only other use for this luck ability is mostly for the player's use. However, a DM, especially as devious as me, might be able to use it to enhance NPCs. So what you can do is, say you are in a very dire strait and you have to be able to make this roll, or perhaps the whole party is going to die, or you just really need this ability check to succeed, so that way we can learn the secrets of where the Lich's phylactery is. And what you do, say for example you have a 14 in your luck ability score, and you miss your ability check by 1. Say it was an Arcana check trying to decipher the Lich's journal, and you miss on that by what you think is 1. Let's say you rolled a 29, and you're pretty sure the DM has the DC set at a 30. Well, what you can do is reduce your luck ability score from a 14 to a 13 and add that additional 1 to your roll. This ability can be used on any attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, and you may use it at any point. Doesn't cost a reaction. It is just your ability to add some extra luck to whatever roll you are making. And really, it's there to help encourage players to take risks. But in the long run, it does end up slowly hurting them, as if you have any other luck rolls in the future, which I hope you do, to really enhance this mechanic, they're going to progressively get more and more unlucky. And eventually it's going to hit a point where they're pretty much going to fail almost every luck roll they make. So it forces them to use that second ability very sparingly. But that is the gist of the whole luck mechanic. It's nothing too complicated. I would hope that you all enjoy, and I'm going to slowly work on a PDF character sheet to be added to the document. That way when you pay for it in DM's Guild, you can also get your updated character sheet, as you don't have to do your own or whatnot. But if you like this video, please leave a like, comment below what your opinions on it are, or if you have any suggestions for video ideas or just want to hang out, I almost always respond. Otherwise, if you haven't already, please subscribe, and if you have, please hit the bell. I'm trying to get about 3 to 4 videos out a week. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.